it's understandable you're worried about this virus that is new to all of us. There are no pharmaceutical interventions that have been proven to be effective on this virus yet, and same with nutritional and supplemental interventions. There's nothing specific for the COVID-19. But what we do know, having a background in nutritional medicine, is that there are certain things that the body can really work better with by boosting its innate immune system. And we've got a defense system inside of us that helps us protect us all the time. We're always exposed to all sorts of viruses and bacteria, and our body has this innate intelligence to be able to protect us when we give it the right information and the right support. So yeah, what I would start with is, I guess there's a few pillars of health, making sure that we're not relying on only one thing, like whether it be a product. But obviously our food and what we take in and what we absorb and what we eliminate is really where the point of contact with friend or enemy is decided between a food or something harmful for our body. So if your diet is fairly, nutrient poor, meaning that there's not a lot of quality nutrients for the cells and the gut bacteria to eat, then it's going to be a good place to start, because it's something you can do and see a result within a few days, because your gut bacteria can start to change within a few days. Our cells along the lining replicate and shed every 3 days. So looking at if someone's taking no supplementation, it would be things to boost the immune system, like vitamin D. I would definitely recommend people check that with their blood to start with, so they know what their levels are already like. Yep. Now, sunlight is one of the best sources of vitamin D, but not everyone converts very well. And being someone that does gene testing, I can see if someone's vitamin D receptor, which is the end point, whether that actually conversion process is going along smoothly. And it's so yeah, it may be something very beneficial to supplement, and using a good quality brand, because not all products are the same, and looking at around 5,000 international units initially to give that immune system a big boost. Well, vitamin D is more than just a vitamin. It's a fat-soluble vitamin, but it's also a hormone. So it impacts, and especially the vitamin D receptor, once it gets to that point, it's actually involved in turning on over about 900 different genes. So it's extremely important for gut integrity, but immune system strengthening. And actually this virus in particular, it actually has the ability, it's one of the first barriers when the virus enters into either the nasal mucus passages or the intestinal lining mucus passages. Then vitamin D is actually involved in activating the macrophage, which is basically means large eating. It's supposed to gobble it up and eliminate the virus. So what really determines whether someone gets the virus or not is their ability to destroy it. So we're all going to be exposed likely to viruses, and not just this one, but the other ones going around. The flu season's also coming up. And so we want our bodies to be have the nutrients to gobble this up quickly, and then it doesn't enter into the cell, because once it's in the cell, it's part of us and it can replicate. But up until that point, it can't replicate, and we want to eliminate it. So that's part of it. The other nutrients that would be involved are minerals like zinc, extremely important, and in the right therapeutic level. I mean, we see patients all the time that are taking, with good intention, a product that they've just bought anywhere, maybe the supermarket even. They may be getting excipients and binders with that supplement that might not be so beneficial, and so they might not be absorbing very much of that supplement at all. And so the better quality ones don't have all the fillers and things involved, and really we want at least 25 to 30 milligrams a day. Food sources are great, providing that the food that you're eating actually has the nutrients in the soil, because if the minerals are not in the soil, it's not going to be in the food in the right amounts. and oysters are the best animal protein form of zinc, but after that it would be pumpkin seeds. But I think you get around, I think it's around 100 grams of pumpkin seeds has only about 8 milligrams. So you'd need a lot of pumpkin seeds in your day to get that 25 milligrams or so. But it's definitely worth adding into your diet because pumpkin seeds also got good fiber and essential fats in them. Yeah. The next one would also be vitamin A. Vitamin A actually helps you protect your mucous membrane lining. I don't like to supplement vitamin A exclusively because it can be built up to be in toxic levels if it's not done with professional support, but through cod liver oil. I love cod liver oil because you've got your anti-inflammatory omega-3s, but you've got your vitamin A and your vitamin D. So it's I would, if people only took one thing, I would really love people to just see the benefits of cod liver oil. It's what our grandparents used to talk about. And there are obviously good forms and there are not so great forms, and especially compliance with kids. I've had really good success with some of the products because they're flavoured and they're not the chewable gummies or anything like that. So then after that it would probably be boosting vitamin C through foods first, and then like assuming someone is just in that prevention stage, that would be the best place to just start on those few.
And what good foods would be vitamin C rich?
Yeah, vitamin C is actually really high. Parsley is really one of my favourites. I recommend people adding parsley into their cooking and things daily, but also looking at kiwi fruit and strawberries. They're higher sources than actually orange, but also your green leafy vegetables. Your green leafy vegetables like kale and silver beet, and they're very, very high in vitamin C, but also other minerals, and they provide some fibre, and it's the colours that help also feed different gut bacteria that we have, so there's other benefits.
And so what can I be doing at home to help me get through this, especially this isolation time?
Yeah, well, mindset is very important. So first of all, focusing on breathing. Okay, it might seem really simple, but I have to even check in with myself occasionally these days because we're in such an unusual time, and putting your hand on your belly and focusing on whether you're actually breathing into your belly at different times of the day can just bring that awareness into either deep breathing or shallow breathing. And because that is a very safe space, your body and your nervous system actually gets the signal to say things are actually okay and I'm calm. So that's one important thing. Then also looking at hydration, making sure you've got plenty of fluids to help you eliminate properly. Then looking at even mouth breathing, trying to avoid that. So breathing through your nose actually helps your breath better as well. Then looking at the mindset of working on what you can control rather than focusing on things that you have no control over is a really good starting point. So that's really only what we think and actions that we take. That's all we have control over. We don't have, and we have influence over things. So that's the next phase of that circle. How we interact with others is obviously influencing them, but filtering out different types of news is really good protection for you at the moment. So just maybe less social media, just check in if you think you need to once a day for the updates, and then after that there's a lot of things in your day that will just go along smoother, and you'll actually get more creative energy and inspiration if there's less focus on the media. And that's all the stuff you can't control as well, so it's no point putting your energy there. And at home then, it's your actions going into what you buy. If you go and purchase lots of flour and sugar, it's pretty likely that you're going to be baking, and that seems to be what people have bought up a lot of in the pasta and the rice in the supermarkets. We have essential nutrients needed by the body through our diet, like amino acids and essential fats. but we don't have essential needs for lots and lots of refined carbohydrates. In fact, it depletes the body of certain nutrients. So focusing on what you buy is going to be a good starting point, and then what you make and you cook. And planning out your meals a little bit is going to give you a little bit of, again, control over what you're doing in your kitchen. The other part that I would like to focus on is something really what I call natural fasting. So having a time at night where everyone finishes dinner and stops eating, and that's just good to looking maybe 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, and then allowing between 12 and 16 hours before you have another bit of food, because that's a way for your body to clean itself up. And it's called autophagy, and it's basically the cell's natural defense as well to not being overloaded all the time. We want that elimination and that cleanup process to happen. And if it's never given that opportunity, or it's a really short window, again, more toxins build up and more inflammation. So yeah, natural fasting or time-restricted feeding, it's really useful, especially if you're working from home and you've never had to do that before, because the kitchen's very close by and you might be tempted to go in stress eat. So we'll talk about that shortly. Yeah, so what you eat and what you think, really good places to start. And then moving your body, even if it just means dancing in the kitchen, doing something like on Pilates type exercises on the floor. Meditation is incredibly good for clearing away. Like, we clean up our bodies, we wash and we have a shower every day, but our minds are in constant stimulation. Even when we're sleeping, we're dreaming, and we're processing thoughts during the day. So meditation is extremely important for the immune system as well. Yeah, that would be a few places I would start.